Something Major is back, Wimbledon edition. Absolute carnage in the first round, and we're going to talk about it right now. Let's get the show started. Welcome back, everyone, to Something Major, our every other day Wimbledon pod that we're going to do. We've done this, as everyone knows, with the Australian Open and the French Open, so keeping up with the theme here, doing it for Wimby. I'm joined with Jack Sock in the black Nothing Major hat. It's a nice looking lid. Stevie Johnson is just a stalwart of the pod. He's here. Sam Querrey is not here today. He is doing ESPN, and they are keeping him very late. He said he'd be ready to go about 30 minutes ago, and he says he's now still like an hour out. I did ESPN last year. It can be very late. So, Sam, hopefully we can get you in a couple days. But anyways, first round carnage. I know, we have been focused on the men's side, but the women's side has been obliterated as well. Jack, I want to start with you. Can you remember a Wimbledon in particular that had this many first round upsets on both sides in the first 2 days?
No, because I think obviously in a lot of the years that we're playing, the top dogs that were the staple of the sport for all those years, that didn't really ever happen. Those guys didn't really lose like this many top seeds. Yeah, obviously you'd get your maybe number 7 seed to the end at 32. You'd have a couple. It's always going to happen at every slam, but the top guys like this, men and women, it's been insane to see. I think it's honestly a tribute to probably those top 3 that we always played with that this just never really happened. But no, I think this is the craziest start to a Grand Slam I've ever seen. Yeah,
just to recap, so there's 22 seeds out in the first round on the men's and the women's side. The highest ranked seed to go out is Coco Gauff. She went out in the first round. Both number 3 seeds went out. Zverev and Jessie Pegula. Qinwen Zheng, the number 5 seed, went out on the women's side. Musetti at number 7. Runa at number 8. Medvedev and Badosa at number 9. And as everyone knows, we almost lost number 5, Taylor Fritz. Stevie, which of those upsets that I just mentioned is, I guess, the most surprising for you?
It's all a bit confusing, to say the least. I have never seen this many upsets in a Grand Slam at one time. I know Wimbledon does create the most upsets just based on surface, and not a lot of guys are used to it, maybe not playing too many events, but it's amazing to see these guys lose like this. I mean, you had guys coming in good form. I mean, Sasha Zverev, final Stuttgart, semi-Halle, you'd think he'd be comfortable on the grass. He's talked about, kind of getting his game back into a form, and kind of, just played poorly today. Didn't see anything special from him. And then you had a couple of guys. I'm actually not that surprised maybe by Musetti losing. I know I had picked him just in my in my bracket. I had him going far, but I'm not overly surprised the more I think about it, because he didn't play any grass warm-up events. I don't know how the body was feeling. He retired at the French. So maybe he's still dealing with something. And, obviously he's a top 10 guy now. He's going to have a lot more eyeballs on him. He can't just kind of fly under the radar like he has been doing a little bit. So that one, I'm not as surprised the more I think about it. But both men's and women's side, I mean, it's carnage. I've never seen anything like this. Just guys that I expected to be not walking through, but comfortably getting to week 2 out in day 1 and day 2. I'm sitting on my couch watching the last 2 days very confused.
Yeah, I mean, there are some. Well, you spoke about that Musetti upset. He was a semifinalist at this tournament last year. He's very good. But you're right, Stevie.
Basilashvili that he played, he plays 3 matches in quali. So, obviously he's on a different site, but he's won 3 matches in there. He played a best of 5. He's obviously a former top 20 guy, if I'm not mistaken, at least top 30 guy. And he hits the crap out of the ball. So if he gets hot, he can kind of hit through him, and which he did. And I wonder if Musetti is hurt a little bit. We might not see him for a couple more weeks, but we all know how it is. Even if you're a little banged up, you're going to play a slam because you just feel the opportunity. It's one of the 4 chances you get each year to to kind of have that glory run.
I do think Musetti had the famous tennis leg wrap, so I do think he was injured.
He had the
he had the thigh wrap.
Yeah.
Well, Jack,
So.
in our bracket challenge, Jack.
If I had some flowers, I'd give you if I had a
Golf
little
clap
bouquet
to
here.
Jack. He picked Basilashvili to take out Musetti. That's a hell of a call, dude. Well done. I think
What was your thought
brackets-
process, or was that just?
No, that's actually a good call. Now that I think about it,
No, I know.
If I spent more than 3 minutes filling out my bracket, maybe I could have. Maybe I could have possibly sniffed that one out. But Jack, well done. I mean, there are some. I just think on the men's side that the draw that I looked at, there are some with all these seeds going out. There are some wide open draws, some big opportunities for. Especially some Americans to go deep in this tournament. I think Ben Shelton's draw looks pretty good. I mean, Humbert was the seed in his section, and so Ben might have a good little section to get out to the quarterfinals. He was with that Musetti and Humbert section. They both went out. Ethan Quinn, a young American, is in a nice little section now with the Zverev going out and Berrettini going out. So there's some opportunity. Jack, on the American side for the men, who do you like, I guess, to give me some names you think can go to the second week? And you can name the obvious ones. You can name Taylor, Ben, Tommy, but who else do you think can get to the second week on the men's side from the United States?
I will say I've been watching a lot. I haven't looked like through the draw super deep like that, but. I mean, I think we called Taylor played probably the hardest non-seed potentially in the draw. So honestly, that score and potential upset wasn't as surprising as probably the average fan thinks. That guy is obviously a nightmare to play. So especially
He had
on
it
grass.
on his racket as well.
Yeah, but I think Taylor getting through that, as we all know, sometimes you get through one of those early like that. Probably, and he's already a confident player. Probably boosts the confidence even more. Tommy looked really. I take him every time we talk about stuff, but I thought he looked really, really sharp. That guy.
That's
that
why
guy
we
was
drafted him
kinda,
to your team, Jack. You know.
Yes, thank you.
And we got Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez got a win for you too. So kudos to you.
Well, I wanted Pedro anyways. Vote for Pedro. But no, I mean, I'm not surprised if those guys get pretty far. I haven't seen the draws enough for the Ethan Quinns and those guys, so maybe Stevie has a better idea on that. But
got a good little draw. I think Marcos Giron has a bit of he has a chance. I mean, he doesn't have the easiest draw, but he kind of flies under the radar. He's playing Mensick to play, the 22 seeded Caboli, Pennington. I mean, so he could kind of sneak through of one of those guys that has a relatively tough draw, but we've talked about it before, like in Wimbledon, you get these draws where, the 7 and the 22 seed lose or, whatever, and it just becomes wide open in that little section. And Fritz almost gave us maybe one of the craziest quarters of a draw of all time, because if Fritz loses and Zverev loses, all the other seeds lost in the middle there. It was like that page would have been absolute wide open. So if you're Fritz right now, you don't want to look at the draw, but I like his chances to, I think this is now a tournament for him, like escaping, like Jack just said, to make a deep run in week 2, because he is only going to get more confident with each round he plays.
I think we got to elaborate a little bit more on Taylor. Like, what an effort. He was up 6-2 in the second set tiebreaker. Lets that one slip. So he goes down 2 sets to love. Hadn't faced a break point. Doesn't bat an eye in the third set. It's very easy at that stage. Trust me, I know. As I've won some sets that probably shouldn't have won, some guys can kind of go walkabout mentally. Taylor did not do that. He was able to get a break early in the third, then sort of kind of put his stamp on the match a little bit. Wins the third set 6-4. Then kind of completely got out of dodge. I mean, Pesci Perricard is going to be losing so much sleep over that 5-2 point on serve in the tiebreaker. But look, Taylor stuck with it. Incredible gutty effort. Are y'all worried that he might have maybe a little too many miles on his body, given the fact that he played Eastbourne?
No.
Played 3 setters there and a 5 setter against. You don't think so, Stevie?
No, I don't think so. Not for Taylor. Look, I mean, I think for the other slams, he's kind of reversed course a little bit and taken the week off prior with his coach, Mike Russell, and Paul Annacone, those guys, so his body can be ready. But he's very adamant on the grass that he doesn't like to take that week off. That's why he's won Eastbourne 4 times. He's like, he said it. He doesn't want to go to Wimbledon and practice on practice courts. He goes, why wouldn't I just play matches? Nobody's playing on the match courts anyway. I can't get ready on them. Why not go play matches and get confidence and get ready? So, yeah, it was a crazy first round for him, a tough draw against a guy that sometimes is out of your control. But now that he's moved on and looking at his draw, I really do think, semis is very potential for him getting there. And then at that point, it's anybody's game. He's made a final before, and he has the ability to win these tournaments. So hopefully he can kind of get through the next 3 or 4 matches relatively routine to save some of that mileage on his body.
He's in the Zverev section, as you mentioned, Stevie. Jack, did you see hold on, I'm banging up, the Zverev's quote after his loss, after his 6-4 in the 5th loss to Rinderknech?
No, I've tried to stay away from social media quotes.
No,
on
you're
tennis
good. You're good. No.
I'm saying after Centel got me, I'm not looking at anything else now.
Oh, yeah. You got Centel, and I hope you're not falling for Centel anymore.
No, it pops up on my phone all the time, and when I first read it, I still think it, and then I have to look now for the username.
Jack, I was taking some unnecessary shrapnel from when you did the Centel, because I didn't know what the heck you were talking about. And it sounded believable.
Neither did I, clearly.
So they were like, Mr. and Jack got Centel. And I'm like, no, it's more Jack. I didn't really know what was going on.
You got to throw your partner under the bus there.
You got some secondhand smoke.
This is not Centel, Jack, but this is what Zverev said after his match. I've been through a lot of difficulties in the media and in life generally. I've never felt this empty before, just lacking joy in everything that I do. It's not necessarily about tennis, it's just lacking joy outside of tennis as well. It's the first time in my life I'm feeling this. So Alexander Zverev kind of opening up a little bit. I think maybe the pressure has finally gotten to him a little bit, like the fact that he hasn't gotten over this Grand Slam hump. I personally think he's played way too much tennis going into this Wimbledon. He played too much tennis going into the French Open. Then again, he played 2 tournaments immediately. Stuttgart, Halle, before Wimbledon. So I think he's just mentally cooked, Jack. Having, a guy that's had some big highs and some big lows in your career, getting up to 7-8 in the world, and then following year having a very bad year, we all can relate a little bit. But do you think this is, what would you say Alex needs to do to sort of get out of this rut that he's feeling mentally?
Yeah, obviously mine was injury, caused by injury. So it was a little out of my control in that sense, but I can relate to that emptiness kind of when you're not playing, you're not around. He's maybe on the other side playing so much, you never know. This could just be a random thought. You never know if he's struggling with things. Obviously, we have no information on that. But if he's trying to fill a void by playing too much tennis, if he's trying to work through things maybe in his life by playing a lot of tournaments and maybe he's trying to stay distracted or something. You never know. Athletes don't really open up that much, so this is probably going to obviously get a lot of buzz. There'll probably be a lot of questions about it. But, you never know what people are going through. That's why you try to stay level-headed and you never judge, a book by its cover. And hopefully, everything's all right for him. I agree he's played an insane amount of tennis. You can kind of tell when he's playing now. He's usually calm and level out there, but he almost looks kind of sad and I don't know, defeated at times. He's not enjoying it. Yeah, maybe as much. So,
sort of thing.
Yeah. So probably a little burned out, and then who knows what's going on personally? You never know.
Yeah, you never know. That's the thing about an individual sport, right? You don't have teammates that can pick you up. People don't know if you broke up with your girlfriend the night before or your mom is sick or your dad. These things just can weigh on you. And I think that's what a lot of times people on the outside, they don't know. Because a lot of times us on the court, we don't open up and we don't have to. But again, no teammates to rely on when you're going through something personally, whatever. No, we're not saying that's the case for him. But all players have gone through this, and it's just something you got to try to deal with. It's very, very tough. That's a very good point, Jack. All right, let's move on to the women's side, and let's talk about the top 2 ranked American players, number 2 and number 3 seed, both going out. I'm very shocked. Obviously, Coco coming off the Roland Garros title, Jessie Pegula coming off of a big title the week before Wimbledon. So going into the grass with a lot of confidence. But both of these players, obviously, you win Roland Garros, you're going to be confident. And then Jesse wins Bad Homburg. I think that was a tournament. The week before, and they sort of come out and, like, they kind of just lay an egg out there, right? I mean, like, Coco lost, was it 6-1 or 1-6?
6-1.
6-1. And Pegula went down easily as well. So, Stevie, what do you think that is a case of on both for both of them?
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, Jess, I would have had pegged for a second week run, especially with her form leading into it, winning a title. You know, the way she strikes the ball, how clean she is, having the coaching staff that she has with Knowles and Merklin and these guys now with her, know that a grass is a surface that is beneficial to her. She can play her style of game and be very successful at it. So to see her lose first round, not something I was even thinking about, to be honest. And same with Coco. After a French title, I mean, I think she played only one grass warm-up tournament, which makes sense. Get a couple matches. She didn't do well in that tournament, but with the competitor she is, it really got sideways for her in that second set. And I believe this is the second of the last 3 years where she's lost first round at Wimby. So it's not like she's had stellar results there, but every time Coco's in a draw, I assume she is going to compete and find a way to get to the second week, to find herself in those big matches, later stages in tournaments, just because I love the competitor that she is. And just didn't see that from her today, and which is a bummer because I enjoy watching her play tennis and how she goes about her business out there.
Yeah, she was having some struggles on her serve as well. I think she had 9 double faults in a straight set match. That's too many, especially on grass. Can't be giving away freebies like that on serve. And yeah, it's very perplexing to see Pegula go down so easily as well.
Yeah, 2 and 3, I believe it was, or 3 and 2. It just not great. I mean, which is a bummer because kind of like Zverev on the men's side, like Jess is somebody that wants to win a major. Her time hopefully is not past because, I'm still a big believer that she will get one, and hopefully she can do it.
Yeah, well, all is not lost on the American side for the women. Emma Navarro, on paper, it might have looked like a tough match. She takes out Kvitova, 2-time champion. This was the last match of her career. Emma Navarro roadhouses her 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. Madison Keys did not play her best, but she won 7-5 in a third. A brutal match, 6-7, 7-5, 7-5. I think that'll bode well for her. Anisimova opened up the bagel shop, 0-0. Guys, just real quick, awesome job by her. If y'all ever won 0-0, I know I haven't, like at any level in my life.
Yeah, I definitely won 0-0 at like early, a lot of high school matches. I'm sure Jack and I won 0-0, no problem. But on the tour, no.
In the Kansas State high school tennis, I mean, North Carolina was brutal. It was not good competition. I still don't think I ever won.
Kansas is harder than California and North Carolina.
Not my little
Blue
section.
Valley North.
I'm joking. Yes, here we go, Stangs.
But 0-0, I mean, golly. Would you, for like a seeded player someone who's expected to do well, like Anisimova and Keys, obviously now she's a Grand Slam champion, would you rather win like 5 in the third, not play your best and get through it, or win 0-0?
0-0.
0-0.
I'm taking the 5 in the third.
As a former American men's tennis player, James Blake, once told me on the grounds of Wimbledon, you do not get paid for overtime. Okay? So win fast and get out of there. That was his quote to me. You do not get paid for overtime.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Madison can play incredibly well. She did not play her best. She gutted it out 5 and third. She's got to be feeling good for her next round, for her next match. But 0-0, that's unbelievable. 44 minutes. Well done. So, anyways, but again, it's tough to lose Coco and Pegula for all of us fans back home. I mean, the 2 biggest names right now. On the women's side for American tennis. So I don't know. Coco's got to go back to the drawing board. Obviously, she won Roland Garros. She'll be fine. And I think maybe her time eventually will come at Wimbledon. She just needs a little more practice on that surface. But it's not easy. There's not many tournaments to play. So all right. round 2. We're about to wrap this up. Let's start with the men. Talk about some popcorn second round matches. I want y'all's predictions here. I'm giving 3. Frances Tiafoe is playing Cameron Norrie in the second round. I rate Norrie very highly. I feel like many people don't. Like, they don't for whatever reason. I think he's a pain in the ass to play. I think Frances is up against it. What do y'all think? Don't go into too many details, but who do you think is going to come out on top in the Tiafoe Norrie match? Jack, I'll start with you.
I very much agree with what you said. I would, only because of the home crowd, maybe with Cam Norrie to help him a little bit, but I still think at the end of the day with that one, I'm taking Frances, but I think it'll be Frances in 5 maybe.
Yeah, it sounds like a 5-setter.
Yeah.
Now, Stevie, do you agree on the 5-set? I think I like Frances in 5 also.
I like Frances in 4 in that one. I think he's just playing he's just going about his business. I think a big step for me was, watching Frances' first round match, play a guy that, you hadn't really heard of, and he took care of business. And for Frances, that's important. Win in straights, 3-3-3 or whatever it was, get off the court, get through the next round. No extra tax on the body.
Is that court 1 or is that a center court?
I think that's a court 2.
2 maybe even? Okay.
Yeah. I just think Cam is maybe a little too far down the pecking order in British tennis at the moment.
Cam played on a tiny court. I
know.
saw. He played on one of those small courts. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But Cam made semifinals some years ago.
It's already on court 1 scheduled. So
hey.
Yeah, I figured the schedule might be out. Yeah, court 1 third-ish.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Well, Francis is going to play well. This is the stage that he likes. So Francis is going to play well, but Cameron's going to be a pain in the out there, and he's not going to give an inch. All right, here's another one. Jenson Brooksby, Eastbourne finalist, back from seemingly he was a witness protection forever, injuries and drugs, not a drug suspension, a mistest suspension. You didn't hear of him for 2 years, but he's back playing well. He's up against Sam Querrey's boy, Joao Fonseca.
Yeah.
What do we think about that one?
Jack. I like Brooksby in that one.
I got Brooksby.
He's just so unorthodox.
He's so crazy. I can't wait to see this one again.
I want Brooksby to win. I think Fonseca's going to win 3-2-3, just beat down.
All right.
No.
I like just the unorthodox Brooksby in that one. Gross on the grass.
Who did Fonseca beat in the first round? It was he took out Fernley, which was people thought might be a tough match, but no, he won that pretty easily. So I like Fonseca. And Taylor Fritz, again, all credit to him for gutting out that first round match. He's got a very tough second round match against the Kentucky Wildcat, Gabriel Diallo, who won Sertogenbosch, and who's, I think, probably top 40 in the world right now. Big guy, another big guy, huge serve, moves well, moves better, probably has better ground strokes than Pericard. But do we think Diallo can? No,
Fritz Roadhouse. He's found his form. He's kind of, he squeaked out of that one that we've all talked about that you kind of have to do in a tournament, and now his confidence is high. It's never left him, and he's going to continue that form. I think he gets through this one in straights. No breakers.
Yeah, I was looking at this one as well, and we were talking about Fritzy. I think maybe playing Pericard obviously is going to help when you go back-to-back bots almost. I do think Diallo plays a lot. He's a lot more consistent from the baseline for sure. Like you said, he moves better. He's going to make him play more balls maybe in that case. Serve is obviously not going to be as big as Pericard's, but he'll probably have a rhythm playing a guy like that. But I think Fritz he'll have that extra confidence now that he already had by pulling that out, and I think he's going to go out and I think he's going to play stellar.
Here, Stevie or Jack, was Diallo rocking the leg sleeve in his first round? What he wore the full LeBron James
just the one Sertogenbosch
when he won Sertogenbosch. I don't know if was he rocking a white one in the first round.
Now I can't remember.
I didn't tune into Diallo's side court match.
No, I didn't see Diallo's first round match either. But
I can't remember.
Not a fan of that. I feel like it's just you're just doing it to kind of look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a look, right? Just the compression.
Everyone's got their thing.
Everyone's got their thing. Milos Raonic really started that with the elbows. Yeah. Remember that? He rocked that. So I feel like he's the OG there.
Anyone have Dan Evans taking a set or two off of Novak with his crafty little with the home crowd?
No.
Crazy.
No,
Dan Evans
I don't
is
think
playing
so.
very well.
Yeah.
But not a great draw for him. as we talked about, this draw is just insane, right? If he was any other section, he could see him making a second week. But I like Novak in this tournament, period, all the way through. So it's my call. So all right. Anyone on upset alert? I don't have the draw in front of me.
Everyone is on upset alert.
But I think the draws. I think it's going to settle down now. I think it's going to settle down. Like I look like a guy like Ben Shelton. He's got a nice little draw. I think he's going to do.
The only guy I think is like on upset watch is Grigor. You just don't know if he's going to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's true,
right? Like I mean, I love Grigor, but like he's playing Mutet, and he's somebody that you just don't know at the moment. And in that side, I mean, you have Draper Silic. Like 3 years ago, that would have been a horrible draw, but I mean, Silic is a bit older now, so I don't know I think Draper gets through that one. But other than that, I think
it's going to settle down on both sides. I think it's going to settle down. I don't know, but grass is a surface, right? I mean, it's like I think you see the most upsets on grass. It's a lot more free points, and a guy like Rinderknecht, he served incredible against Zverev. He outserved Zverev. So these things can happen, and he's ranked like 75.
The bottom half of the draw, there's 7 of the 16 seeds left, so there's not many upsets left to be had.
No, that's true. All right, let's wrap this up on our first Tuesday edition of Something Major with our snake draft standings. Jack, you got auto picked. It's like in fantasy football, right? When you don't show up for the draft, you get auto picked, and you have a good team.
Yeah, love my team.
Pedro.
Vote for Pedro. I'm gonna wear that in the next episode.
Vote for Pedro. Tommy, Jack, we actually drafted you a pretty good team.
Minus Pedro.
The last one was funny. Look at him; he's in the second round.
Yeah.
Do I not get Hubie's lucky loser spot guy?
Hell no, you don't.
Why not?
You knew
That's
he was
how it
banged
works.
up. No, you knew he was banged up.
How did I know?
That's your fault. My team is so bad. I picked Shapovalov. Who would pick Shapovalov?
Who picked Shapo?
I did.
I think I picked Shapo to lose first round.
I know. I mean, like I think I was in Dallas and I watched him win the tournament, and he was like an absolute world beater. He's been so bad ever since. And for some reason, I really like Arnaldi. I think I picked him in the Australian. I'm done with him. Done with Arnaldi. I don't know why. Why do I think he's like so good? I mean, anyways.
Well,
but Stevie,
shows how much we know.
Excuse me, Sam and Jack. Sam's got a damn good team. Djokovic, Demonauer, Lehechka, and Riley. Riley's in a good little section.
Yeah, he'll play Nakashima if he wins. They're the only match that didn't finish today.
That'll be tough, but he was in there with Musetti.
Yep.
So
I will say, looking at you got it.
I think Nakashima and Riley. Sorry, Jack. Nakashima and Riley. One of those two guys is going to get to the second week.
No, I was going to say, looking at the teams now, seeing them and obviously Stevie having Bublik the beginning of the episode. Like we talk about all like the big seeds losing. Bublik in the form that he was in, losing to Munar on grass, might be up there as one of the worst upsets. Even though we know he can be up in
it's hard because he served for the match in the fourth and then just quits in the fifth. Like we said, if he just wakes up and he goes, I'm done. He talks about it at the French. If he would have lost his serve to Draper, I think it was, in that fourth set, when he was serving it out, he goes, I would have just tanked the fifth. When he said that on the TNT broadcast, and you're like, well, I actually believe him.
I just thought against a Munar, that would be that roadhouse.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
My last Wimbledon, I lost to Munar in the first round, and I thought at the point I was like, I lost to the worst grass court player in the field, but he's actually pretty handy. He took Alcaraz the 3 sets at Queens, takes out Bublik. Do you guys see the standings right now? Do you see what place I'm in?
You're not.
I am in. How many entries did we have?
That's what I was going to ask.
How many total entries? Does anyone know?
More than 4,000.
4,000.
Ooh, look at us go.
I'm so wrong on this. I was not a believer in the bracket thing. I was like, we shouldn't do this. No one's going to do it. And we went from 1,600 to 4,000 now.
Yeah.
And I am in
middle of the pack.
Oh, I guess it's really not that bad. But for all you, Jack's up almost in the top 100.
Yeah.
Good on you. Sam's solid at 277. Stevie, you're solid at 575. I'm at 1637.
A lot of room here. First rounds don't mean much,
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
And Jack's
Absolutely.
top
So,
100, and Sam only got one other, missed one. So
man, I feel like I can't beat Sam because he has Djokovic over Alcaraz. Kind of pisses me off because remember last week when we did this, he was like, and then I was like, I think Djokovic.
Yeah, I know. You talked him into it.
Now
Jack, do you know the punishment for last place in this, by the way?
I was trying to read through the Nothing Major group chat. Is just
It's confusing,
hard.
but
There's
loser
a lot
has to go
going on,
shirtless
but
on an episode.
The loser of the bracket challenge. I was trying to keep up with what was. Oh, Burgess, you gotta hit the tanning bee before you do that. For sure, you love a good tanning bee, so you got or
We lose all of
like
our followers.
And
no skin teeth.
Just a quick mention: the winner of the 4,000 contestant bracket challenge gets a whopping $100 gift card to Tennis Warehouse. That's what we do at Nothing Major. We give out these lavish gifts to our winners here. So, and they get to come on the pod, which is priceless. All right, that's it for Something Major. Jack, Stevie, anything else you got to add?
Crazy couple days.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have in store the rest of this tournament.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. We will see you in a couple days. And again, Tennis Warehouse is where you can get our merch. Keep going there. Or our website, nothingmajorshow.com. Stevie's loaded with hats.
There we are.
I have so many hats too. So, anyway.
So good.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See you in a couple days.